Okay, another day, another game. Today we've got Tyrell, Banner of the Sun. My first instinct for this was to make a meme deck which is based on passive power gain with the Box Mace and the Sand Steeds and Robar Royce. And then you can have like Old Town, you have even more passive power. Maybe you could win a game with that, but it's passive power and that's lame, so we're not doing it. I made this instead. It's sort of a fusion of like good Tyrell cards and strength buff stuff with Martel icon removal stuff. And the synergy is I'm hoping to use Garland Tyrell, the big one, and Crown of Golden Roses to discard orange cards into the flea bottom pile. You have to have a pretty specific draw to actually pull it off, but it's really dank if you actually get to do it. Obviously, Shadow City Bastard always makes your flea bottom more useful as Tyrell compared to it's really not worth using flea bottom as just only Tyrell a lot of times. So that's sort of the concept of the deck. We've got First Snow and a deck that is naturally built to leverage First Snow to try to beat weenie decks, and a bunch of icon removal to try and deal with big guys. I think the characters are all pretty self-explanatory. Nothing really stands out. 3 Renleys, 3 Randalls, 3 Garlands, because I want to use them with flea bottom. Corset Queen of Thorns might be a little expensive to have this and Mace in here, but she's pretty damn good if you can get her down and you don't like lose to March to the Wall and stuff. You know, Old Town, you always want Old Town. Some nice synergy that I didn't realize till I actually started playing with the deck was that the Scheming Septon can help you pay for the Martel ambush characters, Spy, Bastard, and Messenger. So that's nice. The plot's very basic. We have a bunch of big guys, and then a lot of our characters that aren't big guys have ambush. So we have First Snow. Also, Flea Bottom should theoretically help with First Snow. And then it's like a very typical economy draw and no milk, please, plot deck. So let's see what we can do. Hopefully I can get a decent game. The deck can definitely do some powerful stuff, but you're vulnerable to attrition. In my experience, even though you do have 9 2-cost characters, in my experience, you also just have so many expensive characters. If you go up against like Martel Wolf or something like that, you're probably gonna have a bad time. Because in my experience, you can only get down 1 or maybe 2 big characters on the first couple turns, and then you might have 1 or if you're lucky 2 small characters for claim soak, and that's probably not enough. Just 1 or 2 little dudes. There are bodyguards to hopefully give you some saves, but I think you can definitely be in trouble if you run into the like ward, march to the wall type of stuff. But if we lose to that, then we lose to that. Let's just see what we get. Of course, we might not get to play a game if no one ever actually joins. I guess while we're sitting here waiting, I just can't think of anything to talk about really. Maybe the Sea of Blood agenda that's coming out with the Greyjoy box. I can't remember exactly how this agenda works, but it's like I think when you win a military challenge, you get a blood token or whatever it's called. And every token decreases your cost to play events by 1, and you can only play events, or no, you can't play events during intrigue or power challenges. So you can still play events like Scene in Flames that you can play outside of a challenge, but you could not play like Superior Claim or Support of the People or something like that. Oh, wonderful. Well, I don't think we're going to win this game. But let's at least try. Man, it's so weird how this friggin' wolf banner keeps popping up. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 2. It's not like it's impossible to win against this type of stuff. You just have to have a good draw order. You have to get a little bit lucky. That's a good start. Summer Harvest into my Peace and Prosperity. He also has to not have certain cards. No Drogon, and only one ward at most. We might actually be able to deal with Drogon because we have icon removal, but we also just might not draw the icon removal that we need when we need it, because, you know, all I've got in my hand right now is a single Dornish Spy. Now, you can't afford Drogon this turn, but, you know. Also, I don't know. We'll just see what happens. I'm probably just going to have to concede and leave whenever he does, like, Dracarys or something. That's not what you want to see. Well, let me see here. I think I can play both. I can play this, kneel this, and play Randall. That worked out. So if he does military, I can claim my Shadow City Bastard, and then the Bolton Flare will have to kill one of his 2-cost characters instead of my Dornish Spy, and I can survive March to the Wall. Next turn is probably the first Snow of Winter, because he has 5 characters that will get bounced, even though one of them is Missandei and one has a dupe. It's probably still worth it. That seems about right. Yes, no challenges. I can see that. Can I win an intrigue? I don't think so. Well, military is irrelevant, so let's just do this. Military definitely doesn't matter, so we're just going to do a Randall military. I feel like he should have at least declared an intrigue challenge. Yeah, he has way more intrigue strength, so not sure why he didn't do that. Hopefully he'll use a duplicate here. That makes sense. That's good, though, that he killed her. Because if I play first Snow, you know, she can just come right back into play with his Dar's action. Let's do this. Because he's just going to stand up anyways. Sack the Shadow City Bastards so she does not get flayed. I don't think this intrigue matters. So you can just defend it and still win dominance, yeah. But oh well. I could also do trade routes next turn. But nah, I think first Snow of Winter is the right answer. That's right, kill that Viserion. Get out. Get out, get him out. Throw him out into the cold. So what he can do here, if he has Ramsay Snow in hand, is do March to the Wall, go first, and Marshal Ramsay, and then he discards Randall's Harley. That'd be sad. Do I really want to do first Snow? Could just do Noble Cause. Yeah, let's do that. We can always first Snow in another turn or two. Oh, but that Bolton Flare is such a pain in the butt. I don't like that card. If I do first Snow, and then I Marshal the Great Hall, I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 gold, down to 6. Kneel the Great Halls, Marshal Garland for 2, down to 4. So I'll have Randall, Garland, and a Dornish Spy Ambush. To his Hisdar, Jorah, and whatever he feels like doing. Geez, I'm not sure what is correct to do here. I don't think that that really lines up well enough to justify my first Snow, so let's just do Noble Cause. Forced March, that's also not surprising. If I get lucky and I top deck like Hightower Spy or... Why did he kneel Jorah? Whatever. I didn't get lucky, so Randall's out for the turn. Crown of Golden Roses could have also allowed him to stand back up. But ideally the opponent only has 1 forced march, so after this turn, Randall will be in the game. Is it going to be Ward? Is it going to be Crown of Gold? I don't know. I have no idea what it's going to be. He can't marshal any characters below 3 cost, really, because then he'll have to use the Bolton Flare on himself again. Oh, he's going to have to use it on Jorah anyways. Jorah's 2 cost. Well then. That's why I ended up not really using this card, Bolton Flare, because it just backfires too often. Like, people can play around it once they see it. Maybe it's going to be Drogon. He could play Hisdar Great Hall and play a 1 gold Drogon. Luckily, we actually have an answer to Drogon. So I'm feeling somewhat decent about the game at this point. But still, nothing is guaranteed. At any moment, some BS could happen. I'm going to get some coffee while he's sitting there thinking about this. Oh no! Crown of Gold? How did I know it? No! Crown of Gold? I think I'm actually fine with that killing a Dornish Spy if it's going to be played. Because the normal play is that he would put it on Randall and then reveal Blood of the Dragon next turn, and Randall is dead, no saves, no counterplay. But that didn't happen, so. Paying 4 to kill a 3-cost character, I guess that's not the worst thing ever as far as Crown of Gold goes. Especially because he knelt the character and then murdered it. That's not particularly efficient. I can play Nymeria. I don't want to play the Courtier. So I'll go for a 4-4 line of play. Dornish Spy Ambush. Let's think about what icon I want to take. Probably military. Yeah, definitely military. Because if I can do a 2-claim military with Garland, that's pretty good. One thing that I got really lucky with this game is I have 5 economy on turn 2, and I have another one in hand. So that way I can actually afford to keep playing characters. And that's like one of the prerequisites for winning against attrition decks, is having gold to continue playing stuff onto the board. And the goal this turn is to avoid military claim, if at all possible. So that way we cannot get marched. Well, I mean, we can, but it'll just discard a Dornish Spy. No challenges again. Alright, sure, buddy. I might want to not even do a military, because if he's really smart, he'll claim Jorah and not save him. I don't want to let him do that. I'm not sure if the guy would even be smart enough to do that, but I don't think I need to risk it. Let's just do this and see if I can get a really big hit from Mullendor. I guess he can stand Jorah to defend this. He could defend with 11. But if he wants to discard a card to do that, I think that's fine. Next turn probably is first snow on my side, since now I just have the one Dornish Spy, who honestly is pretty useful if I can replay her with the ambush again. Let me see, first snow I would have 3 7 gold and Marshal Nymeria for 3, so I have exactly enough for Nymeria Dornish Spy. So yeah, that's a really good line of play, I think. Yeah, there's the plaza. Oh, man. So it's basically like winning an intrigue challenge, right? I mean, it's not as good because he got to choose what gets discarded as opposed to it being a random discard. But if he's really, that attached to winning that intrigue challenge, he can go ahead and have it. I guess if I do a 2-claim military, it's still probably worth it. Yeah, let's just do it. Maybe he'll be 3000 IQ, and he'll use Bolton Flare to kill my Dornish Spy. Maybe not. Oh, killed the Flare. I mean, that makes sense also, obviously. Obviously, that's fine. I might even want to do Counting Coppers. I don't actually want to send Arya without a dupe and Jorah with 2 betrayal tokens back to his hand. I mean, those are actually probably better off on the field now that I think about it. Trade routes would be overkill, so I think I'm just going to do Counting Coppers. Board seems safe enough for now. I would guess he's going to do Valar Dohaeris. Seems like a Valar Dohaeris situation. And then we'll just keep Randall Tarley and Mullendor. Could also be you win or you die. Sometimes people just randomly flip that trade route, sure. I think I want him to go first. What is the problem if he goes first here? Not much of one, to be honest. Because if he plays Drogon, I have Nymeria. So yeah, I'm not that scared of Drogon. For once. If he has Ward, Mullendor's already on the field. I'm going to go first because I can put on pressure with Garland. That's the reason to do that. Yeah, this is a good Counting Coppers draw up, because next turn I can get a gigantic trade routes turn. All this stuff in my hand. Alright. I think I have to play Nymeria just to counter a potential Drogon. I would prefer to play Renly, but if Drogon comes down, I just have to be able to take his icon. Is there any way I can do Renly and Messenger? Play Renly for 3? No. Yeah, I could also just hold 5 for the Southern Messenger, but that's a really big waste if Drogon is not played. I think we're just going to do this. Scheming Septon really worth it? Sure, why not? Why the frick not? Well, neither one of those is really a big deal. I don't think I have anything that Dario can steal. Nope, don't look like it. Put to the torch. So he's just going to try to fight me on the board instead of playing a reset, which is totally okay with me. I have a deck that's built to fight on the board instead of deleting the opponent's board, so bring it on. The Boltsum Flare is a misplay, in my opinion, because what happens is I use the Scheming Sept in action, and then he has to Boltsum Flare one of his guys. I guess if Jorah wins a challenge, then Jorah will be sacrificed and he can Boltsum Flare my Dornish Spy. We're going to try to play around it. I don't know if I'll be able to. This was also an incorrect use of his Dar. I mean, with 4 gold left, so unless he has some way to play whatever this is in his hand. Kind of a waste. I'm going to start with this and see what he commits to defend it. I would assume that he's going to try to defend it some way or another. Targ player usually wants to play very defensively if they don't have a board clear path available, which I definitely don't think he does. No defenders. Okay, that's a little bit weird. I don't see why he wouldn't at least chump block that with Arya or something. But sure. I might not even want to use the Septon. Let's hold off and see if he's able to sacrifice Jorah or not. If he gets to sacrifice Jorah, then I might want to keep the Septon in play. I'm not sure. Let me think. Hmm. I don't know if this is really worth it, but we're just going to do it. He can still defend us if he wants to kneel everything. I think I'm pretty happy with him kneeling all three of these characters to defend it. People usually try to defend to deny Mullendor whenever he's attacking. People get really spooked by this card in my experience. Come on, dude. Defend it or don't. Do something. This guy really doesn't know what he wants to do. At the bare minimum, he should just declare, like, yeah, declare that, and then, like, Plaza of Pride, stand the flare back up. Since this is going to get discarded anyways. Put Southwind Messenger into play. Sure? No, because if... Yeah, that can only target Nymeria, so... It was Relentless Assault. Well, I guess I'm glad to get rid of that. Alright, let's just do a Randall Military. Right? For him to win Military, go in with 16. Yeah, that's too much for me to block, so let's just go. He'll probably defend this, but oh well. Oh well. There goes Jorah. There was nothing I could do to prevent that if he wanted to sacrifice him, because he could have win a military attacking with him. I guess I misplayed a little bit by putting this Southwind Messenger into play. If I had kept Mullendor in play, then I could do Scheming Septon's action, and then if he does military, I could claim the Dornish Spy. And his Bolton Flare would have to kill one of his characters still. Misplay, I suppose. Let's just do this gaming septon. Darn, my other messenger. Where's Flea Bottom when you need it? Now, next turn I could do trade routes, but I think I'm going to do first snow, because I think there's a pretty good chance that his plot next turn will be you win or you die, since he's out of cards. And if he does you win or you die and I do first snow, that's going to be pretty dank. I kind of have to defend this, because if I don't defend it and I claim a 3 cost, then he does Bolton Flare on the other 3 cost. Then he can do March to the Wall, and I don't want him to do March to the Wall on a large character. What? I hate this game. Well, I've got bad news for him. Two can play at that game, buddy. You're not going to get away with winning with this plot. Not today. Still pretty annoying that I have to just pay for Renly without being able to trigger my Great Halls, because I think that literally stops me from marshalling anything else. Yeah, it looks like it does, but pretty acceptable outcome, all things considered. Also, he declined to play any plot that draws cards when he had 0 cards left in hand. So that's pretty good, all things considered. Now I'm threatening to just like take Dario's military and go in with Garland and just kill all his stuff. And that would probably be game over. But he might have ambush characters. I don't know, it depends on what he top decked. He needed to draw like Kotho or Drogon or something here. Oh, I'm supposed to do Nymeria's action. Just go ahead and do that. Yeah, so now I can go in with Garland, and even if he has Drogon, 6 is not enough, because I can buff Garland to 6 with the Arbor Marketplace. So I think he's in big doo-doo. He needs like Nightmares or something like that. But I think there's a really high chance that he's just totally dead here. Here we go. Time to meet your makers, Targaryen. Get your friggin' crap out of here. Yeah, that's right. He's sitting there trying to think how he's going to get out of this. You're not getting out. It's checkmate. You're dead. No defense. Yeah, he knows. Nice deck. Thank you. Well, he hasn't conceded, so I'm going to continue to play until or unless he concedes. I think he's dead, though. If I was him, I think I could safely concede. Even like Valar Morghulis is not going to save him, because Randall will stay on the board with the bodyguard, and I have way more. I mean, I have a ton of economy and a lot more stuff to play out after a Morghulis. So maybe he's just going to let me get to 15. I mean, that would be generous of him. But I definitely won't be upset if he just calls it. I friggin' got him 100%. So for all my complaining and moaning, I did manage to beat the frickin' Targ attrition deck. His draws just did not line up the way they needed to kill my stuff. I had the better draw order this game. No Drogon, no Ward, no Ramsay, no Daenerys, none of that stuff. All he had was the one crown of gold. And I was able to ride that out. He wasn't able to like set up a march with it or anything. There's the ward. Obviously, there was no point in him marshalling that this turn. He top decked it, but the only character of mine he could put it on was just going to get bounced back to my hand with first snow. So things worked out in our favor there. And you know, even though I think the game is over, since I'm the one that's winning, it would be rude for me to like literally say GG and like pretend that the game's already over. Even no matter how far ahead you are, that's just cocky. I'm not going to do that. As long as he hasn't hit the concede button, I'm going to keep playing until I get 15. Very good sport of him to not even concede and to actually keep playing at this point. Trading, okay. Maybe this is going to be the comeback. He's gonna destroy me. I don't know what's going to happen, but he's going to do it somehow. He's going to play Astapor with 4 gold and then kill Randall with Dracarys. Want some gold. And that's going to be the start of the comeback. Then everything's going to die. There he is. There he is. We've been waiting for this guy to show up. Man, he's so scary. Oh, wait. He only has 1 icon. I wonder if there's anything we can do about that. Always nice to actually have an answer to that card. I did originally have the King in the North in my deck. Because, you know, Tyrell, you can play King in the North whenever you want. But I don't like King in the North. I think it's a poorly designed card. It is extremely polarizing and just randomly wins games because I happen to draw my king and you either happen to not to draw yours or just, you know, don't have one. And that's lame. I don't think it's very much fun to win games that way. So I'm not using King in the North. Oops. Did he mean to bestow those? Say sure. Oh, he's just gonna, like, do it manually. No problem. Like, this is never enough on his side. There's no way that, yeah, he's pretty dead. 20 gold. Good lord. Alright, let's just freaking go. Let's just play everything. Yeah. Um. Okay. We're gonna serve some justice to that Drogon. Give me that military icon. Get out! Get that crap out of here. Yes, 3 renown bodies. That is correct. And one of them that can do 3 challenges. And Old Town. I think I will safely get to 15 power this turn. That's why I just barfed everything out, because I don't think he's going to have another plot phase to play a reset. Oh, he put GG. I didn't see that. Alright, let's hit him with the concede. Ha! Beat him to the punch by like a millisecond. Yeah, he's spamming it. So even though he's playing such a degenerate deck, my opinion, of course, it's always just my opinion that this is degenerate. Some people are like, oh yeah, it's so much fun. He's such a good sport. Very good attitude, so that was enjoyable.